Welcome to the Get Your Mind Right podcast. Every day, I want to be the first voice inside of your head, the first voice that motivates you to move. I put out these powerful segments every single day because I know the truth. The truth is that when you change your mind, you change your life. So let me, Ryan Stewman, the hardcore closer, get your mind right. The moment you think it's enough is the moment you lose the game. You think when a championship Super Bowl winning team walks out and they score after score after score, they never think it's enough. Some people be like, oh, they're running up the score. Yeah, but guess what? At any moment, they could turn over the ball. The team could score 7 points. They could kick the ball down the field again. The team could recover the ball. They could score another 7 points. It's never enough. And the moment you think that you got enough money, enough things, enough material things, enough time, then the game's over. People just say, if I could just get $1 million, then I'd retire. If I could just get $10 million, then I'd retire. If I could just have $100 million, then I could retire. I'm telling you, the moment that you think you set a limit on your thinking is the moment you've lost the game of life. I was talking to a gentleman the other day who's $400 million in liquid cash. He can do anything he wants on the planet. Anything. 400 million liquid, like cash money. You know what he says? Man, I feel broke as fuck, man. I'm trying to make this billion. Trying to get out here and get these billions of dollars. Look, Grant Cardone, the guy's got $700 million in assets under management. You think that when he gets to $1 billion, he's going to retire? Hell no. He's going to go to $2 billion. Tony Robbins right now, he makes $5 billion a year. He's hungry still. Andy Frisella, that guy makes 9 figures in sales, an 8-figure income, just income himself, like net income every year. And he's trying to turn M's into B's in this motherfucker. The second that you think that the second you set a limitation on yourself, the second that you think you've got enough, the game is lost for you. If you think if I could just make $10,000 a month, then I would live happily ever after, you lost the game. You see, that's what happens. A lot of us, we set a goal and it's low as hell. My goal is so big that there is no goal. The goal is unlimited potential. The goal is unlimited restriction. My goal is to hit a level and then set a new goal and hit a new level. It's not to set a goal and then sit down. That's not how it works. I don't set a goal, then sit down. I set a goal to hit it, to prove that I beat that level, and then I go to the next goal. And then once I hit that goal, I don't say, okay, this is enough. I'm just going to reset this goal, or I'm just going to tap out of the game. Floyd Mayweather, the guy went undefeated. He fucking was undefeated. He still is undefeated. He's got hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank, liquid cash. He's got more toys, more money than anything. His goal was to beat Conor McGregor's ass and shut him the fuck up. And he did. And he made a bunch more money. You see, you always run the score up. Don't let motherfuckers tell you not to run the score up. You know, my little boys play soccer, and the other day, Jackson, he scored like 5 goals on the other team, and the little parents were like, you're letting him run the score up. It's unfair. No, fuck that. Don't set limitations on my kid, bitch. Don't set limitations on my kid, bitch. Don't set limitations. You set limitations on your feeble-minded little fucking kid. Don't do it to mine. Because mine's going to run the score up in life on your fucking kid's ass because you set limitations on your kid. Your kid needs to lose 100 points to 0 to fucking know what it feels like to fucking be a loser on that level so they don't want that feeling again. My kid doesn't need a limitation set on him. You see, my parents set limitations on me. My dad just told me, hey man, once you get to where you're making $100,000 a year, that's real money. And that's fucking bullshit. I'm here to tell you that's bullshit. $100,000 a month isn't even real money. Last year alone, there was 495,000 new millionaires. That's millionaires. That takes more than $80,000 a month. That's almost the 6-figure goal that my limitations were originally set on me. But guess what? My first year in the mortgage business, I made $100,000. So shit, that goal is an easy one to smash. There's people still today that have been a loan officer for 10 years that don't fucking make that money. I did it my first fucking year. My second year, I made $700,000. And so here's what I'm trying to tell you. If you set a restriction, if you think, if I just make this amount of money, then I've won, I can retire, I can tap out, I can go home with the belt. It's not true. Because there's people like me, there's people like Andy Frisella, there's people like Ed Milet, there's people like Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins, that the score doesn't stop until we die. Until the 4th quarter expires, we are going to keep scoring and keep scoring. And if you're fucking left behind and we're beating you, as Andy Frisella says, 100-0, then that's your fucking fault for letting us run the score up on you. You should have leveled up. You should have fucking fought for it. Because if you set a limitation to tap out at $10 million, and I set a limitation to tap out never, who you think's going to end up with their fucking goal? See, you set a goal and you fucking put a limitation, and most people don't even think they deserve the goal that they're going to get anyway. I put unrestricted success on myself, and I'm going to get every motherfucking bit of it. You know why? Because I'm going to work for it. I feel like I deserve it, and I'm going to earn that shit. If you enjoy this, remove the restrictor plates, remove the restrictions, take the fucking filters off of your life, and do life unrestricted, limitless living. That's what I'm talking about. Get your mind right. If you like this, share it with somebody who needs to take the limit off of their fucking life. Make sure you leave me a review. If you dig the content, make sure you leave me a review over on iTunes. Give me a 5-star review. Tell me a little bit something about yourself. I read the reviews all the time. If you want to surround yourself with people who've taken the limits off of their life, go to BFA. That's Break Free Academy, BFAentourage.com. We'll see you in both.